Hi, Milers. This is Beverly with Miles and Coffee RV, and I thought I would just take a moment to say hi again. Miles and Coffee in Mexico. So, this is a short video because in the past I talked with a couple of my subscribers about some of the things that I would share as I learn while I am here in Mexico. I had an interesting thing happen the other day as a new transplant here. And if you will, I did tell my employer that I needed to make sure that I check in maybe with the doctor and check my blood pressure and renew a prescription. Now, officially, the healthcare plan that I had in the United States has now is now defunct because I have, in essence, taken a new position, and all of those things are being worked out at the new employment. In the meantime, I did have my bottle of my prescription, which was at that point empty as of that day. And I noticed that on the bottle, you could see that there were no refills, even though I had a primary care physician, and the primary care physician knew that I was one of his patients that monitors blood pressure. So, to make a long story short, they want you to continue to go to the doctor. I think at one point I was able to do 3 months at a time, maybe twice. And then, of course, even if you're healthy, they want you to come in so that they can check and maybe see if they can give you another prescription for another problem, whether you have one or not. And that is how they get paid. Subsequently, to make a long story short, here, my employer took me to her doctor. The doctor was kind, generous, thoughtful, and very, very accommodating. Keep in mind, I am still learning and practicing Spanish. The doctor informed me that his English was not very up to par, so we just gestured, and my employer was good enough to accompany me and to act as sort of a person who would translate for me. I gave the doctor my bottle, which was at that point empty. He looked up the prescription online, asked me how was I doing. When I checked in, they checked my blood pressure. Since taking the course in Guadalajara and traveling and being in Mexico, my blood pressure has steadily gone down to the point where the reading a couple of days ago at that doctor's office was 100/60. My blood pressure has never been that, even before I started medication. That is normal, and it is perfect blood pressure. I was ecstatic. So I told the doctor I would like to be monitored so that I can continue keeping my blood pressure at a perfect level and eventually come off of the medicine, because I do start off my day, even though I love coffee, I start my day with 32 ounces of water every day. The water therapy flushes your system, and I practice IF, which is intermittent fasting, which means I don't eat until about 11:30, maybe 12. Sometimes I'm able to go until 1, and that's my first meal of the day, whether I eat a breakfast at 1 or a typical lunch. And then, of course, I like to eat again at maybe 7 o'clock, and then I'm done. But by fasting during the day, the water does its work, and I go regularly. It takes the salt out of your system, sodiums, and I do monitor salt. So that's the first thing the doctor said after he looked up the prescription and said, monitor your salt, you should be fine. Your blood pressure right now is normal, and this is your prescription. He wrote me a prescription. When I went to check out, first of all, I said, thank you, gracias, mucho gracias, very much. And when I went to check out, I asked my employer how much, and she said, no, they are not charging you today. He says, thank you. It is his pleasure to serve you today. And he asked, when would you like to come back in? I said, well, if you don't mind, let's make sure that everything is still going okay. Maybe a month from now, from today's date, I will come back for another checkup, check my blood pressure, make sure everything's going fine, and maybe eventually be able to come off the medication. He said, fine, no problem. Just call when you're ready to come back in. We went to a pharmacy to fill the prescription. I paid 148 pesos, which in United States dollars is roughly $7.50. You guys, for a prescription to be filled for $7.50, no healthcare plan. I am here brand new, okay? And in the States, my copay ranged between 10 and 20 depending on the visit, and I paid $7.50. I did not even pay for a doctor's visit. So for those of you who are thinking of ways to sustain yourself and to keep your health care and to get yourself in a position to be prepared for retirement and beyond, you might want to consider that. I know that my body has responded very positively to Mexico. I do love walking. I take taxis very seldom, but I try to walk everywhere I go within maybe a mile to 2 miles distance, and that helps to keep me healthy, as well as the water and the fresh fruits, fresh vegetables, and no fast food. So that again does affect your health, and my stress level has just decreased dramatically. That is one of the reasons why I am here. Do I still love my country? Yes, I am a United States citizen. I am. But where I'm choosing to live now is to prepare me for the long run so that I can keep my health and to prepare myself to sustain my health as I prepare for retirement. So just something to consider. So thank you. Feel free to ask questions if you have not already. Subscribe, and I'm going to continue to enjoy the beautiful sunshine and maybe have another cup of coffee. We will talk to you later. Bye-bye for now. Thank you, and bye.